We're really glad to be here and get to talk about conference abstract submission. So the most important thing is you go to the PCA website first, right? That's how we do all of our things. So what you're going to do is head to the main page under events, head to national conferences, and that
Submission
will take you,
guidelines.
yep,
Sorry.
nope. Look, hey, y'all are seeing behind the curtain. No worries. So the first thing you're going to want to do is head to submission guidelines. Sorry about that. Why go to submission guidelines first, Micah, you might ask? The answer is this will give you all of the information, especially if you're a new member, on how to get connected and be able to make sure you've got all the information you need before you get to the submission page. And the reason why you need to do that is because actually there are some steps you got to do before you can submit your abstract. First, Pop Culture Association does ask that you create a profile in order to submit your proposal for the annual conference. You'll need to do that by coming here and heading to the My Profile page. You will need to be a member of the organization to submit your conference abstract proposal. So that does require you paying your membership fee up front. If you do have questions about that, feel free to reach out to us and we can talk through with you on that. You will need to do that submission, a bio statement. So make sure you've got your bio ready to go. A few other things to note, you will need to choose an area, and we'll talk about areas in 1 minute, but we've got so many subject areas. Anything that you can think of, there's probably a subject area for that very thing. So please check that out because you will have to choose which area you are going to submit to when you get to the submission part. Each individual subject area, as we call them, does have an individual call for papers. So it's important to check out those call for papers before you write that abstract or before you write that proposal to make sure that you're in line with what they're looking for. And again, in 1 minute, I'm going to take us, I'm going to show us all of those things. A few other quick notes here on the submission guidelines. Undergraduate students, we do encourage and welcome undergraduate students at the conference, but not all areas accept undergraduate students. We do have an undergraduate student area, so that's a great place for you to be able to submit undergrad students, but check to make sure that the area you are looking for does offer undergraduate submissions if you're there. There are also some rules for undergraduate presenters, so please check those out. All right, I'm going to take us really quickly to the area of the website where you can see those calls for papers, so you can make sure that you're putting your abstract where it should go or tailoring it to the call for paper for the area. If you click on My Profile, this is once you've got that profile set up, once you're a member, it's going to take you to this amazing community behind the scenes webpage where you can have connection. You're currently seeing mine. So this is a moment where you're going to see that I'm a member of a lot of groups. So when you click on groups, for instance, this is your groups, the ones that you've already joined. So for instance, I, as one of the co-chairs of the Vampire Studies area, you can see I'm already in this group, and here's our call for paper. Sorry to all the other areas who aren't getting a current shout out. I just know our call for paper best. As you can see, right, we've got a specific theme this year. Lots of the areas do yearly themes for the conferences, so you'll be able to see those pieces and anything they might be looking for. Here we've got the note that we're looking for 250-word abstracts, proposal abstracts. That's pretty common amongst the areas. So check out, this is that place where you can check out what those individual areas, subject areas are looking for. I showed you where my groups takes you, which is the ones we've already joined, but over here on this right-hand side are available groups. So those are anything I've not already joined. So you can see, you can view all and see all the rest of them. Again, there are so many areas, so please check them out to look at that calls for papers. Okay.
Amanda, if I can
Yeah,
add something, I'm sorry. There
please.
is a it's sort of a glitch with the website, but it's just within the system. So if you'll go back to where the call for papers are in those groups. So once you've already joined a group, so for example, when you clicked all groups, Amanda, if you'll type in vampires because you're already a part of that, it won't pop up here. It's still available. You will just have to click the groups tab. So as you see, it's not able to be located. It's still there. We didn't get rid of it. You just have to click
Just
the
in my
groups
groups.
tab and it's at the bottom. So that's where
Yeah.
you'll see the groups that you have joined. And if you want to go find a group or a group that you have not joined, you'll just scroll back up and then view all of those groups again.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks
Just
for
a little
reminding
quirk
me.
with the website.
It is such an interesting quirk. And the first time I was like, where I couldn't find, I was like, where are my groups? Where am I? Like the ones I've already joined. And then I couldn't find the ones that I hadn't joined yet to join new ones, right? So just know that when you click groups, that's the ones you've already joined. And the way to connect to groups that you haven't joined, and they're called available groups here because you haven't joined them yet, is to go to this right hand search or right hand navigation bar and click that. So check those things out, check out those groups and check out those calls for papers for the proposals. Okay, so I'm going to work us through a submission. And so what you'll need to do is you'll need to click on that submit today button that's at the top. You're going to go ahead and sign into your PCA account. I will note that you will not have that conference center dashboard on your profile. That is because I'm an area chair. So that you'll need to, on the bio here, this is where you'll put in your biography. So as you can see, we've got my short bio. You'll be able to choose a photo file. That's where the photo back here on that profile page comes from. You'll be able to save this bio. And you'll be able to see that you've got your contact information and all of those pieces. And then we can go back. Oh, I went all the way home. Sorry about that. I knew I was clicking the wrong button. We want to go to the dashboard. Okay, so we're back at the dashboard. Where you'll go next is you'll go to this presentations tab and you'll click on presentations. And there you'll actually be able to see what I presented last year at the Chicago conference, which is popped up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come down to select conference and you're going to go 2025 PCA. You're going to create a new presentation. And this is where you're going to go ahead and put in your title. So this year I'm going to talk about, oh, surprise, I'm going to talk about Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough this year. That's true. That's not my title, but we're going to pretend like it is. And you're going to come here and you're going to select the presentation type. Y'all, your presentation type is, I will likely say almost always going to be a paper. Now, there are some areas where you might do a creative work, but for the most part, most of us are going to be doing papers. And you'll go ahead and save here. And it will take you to the next screen. And here you'll be able to save and proceed.
And you can also go to different areas too. So let's say you're still working on your title, you can just go ahead and go to your abstract, click the area of study, and then come back to that title. So you can go through all of them. It doesn't have to, you don't have to complete the title before you can select presenters or start typing your abstract.
Absolutely. And you can see that's all here on that left-hand navigation bar where you can skip around to do some of that. So again, presenters this is just asking for those folks who are presenting in duos or trios. You'll need to make sure that there's a managing presenter, but then all those other pieces you'll be able to do. It is also important to note that you all must register for the conference in order to appear in the conference brochure, right, in the conference book, and be listed as presenters. And that conference registration is currently open through the conference, but
February 15th is the final date for conference registration. Early bird rates will close on December 31st and they will not be extended. Then you'll be into that regular registration. Rates will go up again February 1st, and you will be in late registration. So get those early bird rates while they're available.
And in case, I guess we haven't said this yet, we were going to say it at the end of the video, but since we're giving dates as a reminder, the date for 2025 conference submissions is November 30th. That is coming up very soon. So this is just where you'll walk through all of these steps. You'll want to get that abstract in. One of the most important areas, again, here, and as you can see, they've all got red stars, so you have to do them all. The area is one of the important parts in the Pop Culture Association, so this is where you'll want to come click on that subject area. Any additional information, right? Oh, I didn't save. It does tell you if you didn't do the things. I do want to highlight additional information. This is an important aspect of your proposal. And part of why this is an important aspect of your proposal is that this gives you the opportunity to make any special requests or ask about any accommodations that you may need as a presenter and as an attendee at the conference. So this could be like a scheduling request, like, you've got a familial wedding or a religious observation that means that you would not be able to present at a given time. This is a good place to say some of those things. This is also a great place to let us know if you need any accommodations around, for instance, a sign language interpreter or any of those types of accommodations. This is a great opportunity to let us know that you need these, need accommodations or need to make a request related to your presentation. Also, please note that there are some other questions here that you'll need to answer related to, are you planning on applying for a travel grant? That's just so that we can get a sense of who all might be applying. And then do you, some request grants about displays. Can we display your submission on our website, right? Just like we would normally do. Then there is a preview stage where it pops this box up so you can see what literally will show up in the web material related to, so that's in our conference app, and then in the conference web page related to your presentation. And then you would go to the finalize page, which is where you would finalize all of this information. As you can see, I cannot finalize mine because it is incomplete. It told me this all along, but that's how you would navigate that. What else should we share, Micah, about abstract submission?
I would just say, could you give some just tips on writing the best abstract? What would you recommend as someone who has submitted an abstract with PCA for several years now?
Yeah, so I've been coming to pop culture for 15 years. So I've done a few of these. Some important things, make sure that your abstract, your proposal, as a reminder, we're using the words abstract and proposal sort of interchangeably. This is a proposal to present at a national scholarly conference. So make sure that your proposal has the thesis and topic that you're talking about. Sometimes, for instance, one of the things I did early in my process was sometimes I would just pull that opening paragraph out of the piece that I had already written for class or for a project. And often that opening piece is like your attention grabber, right? And it doesn't necessarily tell those of us who are area chairs what you're actually going to be arguing or what your paper is actually about. So make sure that that proposal really is a proposal. It's meant to be an opportunity to tell your audience, and at this moment, your audience is the area chairs who are deciding if your paper is going to be accepted. It's telling us what you're planning on talking about, what you're planning on arguing. So if you're looking at popular culture materials, whether that's a film or novels or whatever, comic books, whatever those things are, make sure you tell us what those pieces are. That makes a really strong abstract. We're also looking for, a lot of area chairs are looking for some kind of recognition of scholarship that's come before. That's not to say that we need a bibliography or works cited, but many of us are looking to make sure that you understand the scope of the field that you're presenting in. So that really helps make those things strong. So again, making sure you've got a good thesis and you've got a good your abstract, your proposal demonstrates to us what you're actually going to be arguing. And I'm going to recognize, I know that's really hard. My paper for this year is like all preliminary. I've just gone through an archive. So I understand sometimes that's hard to know what you're actually going to be arguing. And that's okay. Sometimes in the course of writing these things, they do shift some. But think about how you're making the strongest argument you can for why your paper would be good to present at the Pop Culture Association.